case study in empathy. Please put your hands together for Lance Vaughn.
Oh my God. Thanks, man. Hello. So first I have to acknowledge Josh Pollock. I told him that I was trying to come up with metaphors for his sharp wit, and the only thing I could come up with was like if his wit was loaded into a trank gun, it could pierce the skin of a rhino from like 100 yards away. So I have a friend here at Life West that we started the program together, and over the last 2 years, we've become really close. And one of the things that I really appreciate about Justin is the fact that he's my go-to guy anytime that I'm feeling overwhelmed, anytime I'm having just like one of those drag-ass days. And I can go up to him anytime and just be like, oh, Justin, I need empathy. And it's incredible to watch because most superheroes, which I have Justin Jobelius in the superhero category, they have to go into some type of phone booth and do a costume change, and all he has to do is whip off his shoulder bag, and he does this little cape thing like, And it's incredible within that moment to watch him go from one of the most interesting people I've ever met to one of the most interested listeners I've ever spoken to. I mean, the guy is just a gnarly listener.
Bring the baby back inside.
The Kelly Slater of listening. If you've never had the opportunity to have him listen to you, I highly recommend talking at him any chance you get. But Justin, as a student, has already done what I think most chiropractors aspire to do, which is he has repeatedly given a subtle force at the right time, at the right place.
Only the real gangsters stay late night.
Massive shift in a person, and this is me speaking personally. This guy has repeatedly been the force that has helped shift me into consciousness and an ability for me to take action in my life.
Did you like
to try to be the best person I can be, and to try to deepen my connection with other humans. I can't think of a better outcome. Tonight, I'm going to talk about empathy and its role, its essential role in chiropractic. We're going to do an exercise, and I'm going to tell a story. So the exercise we'll start with. And when I say go, not yet, but when I say go, I want you to stand up, find the nearest person that you don't know, or maybe you do know, since there's a couple empty seats.
Not when there's nothing
I want you to stick your hand out and say, hi, how are you?
To take
and
away.
then the other person's going to go,
Perfection.
I'm good. How are you? And you're going to go, I'm good.
You got this.
Then you guys are going to sit down without
achieved.
talking. Okay? It's an
There's
8-second
nothing left
exercise.
to add, but there's
You
nothing
guys
left
down
to
with
take away.
So the goal is to have a complete
Perfection
still
is
auditorium in 8
achieved.
seconds.
Not when
This
there's
is something
nothing
we
left
have
to
to run.
add, there's nothing
ready?
left to take away.
And go.
Story. What I want from you guys, I'm gonna start off with a story. What I want from you guys, I want you guys to kind of walk with me during this 10-minute. I want you guys to kind of walk with me during this 10-minute journey to kind of see.
Very impressive.
This is my saw.
I have a feeling that was not the first time you guys have had that conversation. You guys were so quick. We just accomplished a room, an auditorium full of interpersonal communication without really sharing anything of substance.
Oh, you're security.
And personally, I have thousands of repetitions of this. I'm really good at it. And I call it my infamous elevator
Sorry about that, dude.
conversation followed by epic silence, where it's like, ding, hi, how are you?
No, we should be done in like 10 minutes. Nothing? I don't know.
And it's like the elevator music business is really struggling because the last like 8 elevators I've been in have had no music. And yeah, all right. But the piece that this exercise shows is a huge opportunity, because every interaction you have like that throughout the day is an opportunity for a human connection. So there's so much communication happening in the world without connection.
Hey guys.
And I think that if we can step up our game
you brought the ticket?
on a level of empathy as chiropractors,
We'll talk Drake after.
that we can be having the type of effect that Justin Jobelius has on me, on the people that we
I'm
interact
trying my
with,
best.
not only while we're adjusting, but between adjustments. Not only when we're in the office, but when we're at the grocery store or when we're interacting with the cashier at Starbucks. These are all opportunities to give subtle force. And when I say subtle force in the context of empathy, I think of a parachute. Because is a parachute applying a force? Yes. Although there's nothing there that you can see,
Yeah, it's fucking hot.
there are
in
air
here, too.
molecules that the parachute is applying force to. And I have molecules of emotion that Justin pushes.
Not
I mean,
yet. Trying to
it
get-
listens so hard.
I'm getting
It's intense. I love it.
I'm thinking about this dude.
So I'm going to tell a story. I have
That's
a
what it's gonna
friend
be.
that I'm going to talk about his injury, so I'm
gonna
going
be
to give him his nickname, which is
gonna-
Biggs.
it's
Everyone
gonna
back
be
home
real.
calls him Biggs. I've known him for a long time.
Perfection is achieved.
And
Not when there's nothing
Biggs
more.
called me one day,
Perfection is achieved, not when there's nothing more to
last
add,
year sometime,
when there's nothing
and
left to take away.
he said, dude, I'm having some crazy low
Perfection
back
is
pain.
achieved,
I don't know what to
not when
do.
there's
What's
nothing
going
left
on?
to add,
So
there's nothing left
I'm sure you
to
guys get
take
that
away.
call from your friends looking for advice.
I'm gonna start off with a
And
story.
I
What
connected
need
him
from you
with
guys, I need you guys
some
to come
docs
with me and take
in
a
the
walk.
area, in the Bay Area, people that I either respected or had a good experience with, people that I had heard good things about. And he had already been having this back pain for 2 months that was down his leg and his hamstring. And he had another 2 months going office to office, having experiences, learning a lot, feeling better as a person, but still having this back pain.
You will never.
So he finally had this eye-opening experience with a chiropractor. But the surprising thing is, it wasn't in one of the offices that he was at. It was in a classroom. And this doc had come into his school, and he was working on his degree at the time, come into his school, gave his doc talk, and Biggs loved it. He was like, cool, I'm gonna meet this guy. So after the lecture, he went up and wanted to introduce himself. There's 5 or 6 people, waited his turn, and as soon as he made eye contact with the doc, he said he saw a shift in the doc. He didn't feel it, but he noticed. He was like, whoa, okay. And now as he describes it, he says that when they made eye contact, it was as if the doc could feel his pain through his eyes before a word was even spoken. And then the doc asked a question. And Biggs says that that moment that the doc asked the question was the moment that his healing started again. And it wasn't so much the question that was asked as it was the intention behind the question. He said that it was almost as if the doc actually cared about what the answer to the question was. Whoa, who is this guy? He's got to write a book. But that moment, he finally felt like someone else understood fully where he was and what he was experiencing. And that was all he needed to begin to take control of his situation and work his way out of it. My childhood nickname is Biggs, and that was my situation. And it's really cool to know that not only is Justin Jobelius here tonight, but the doc who was the catalyst for me to be able to realize, man, like this overwhelming, clouding pain is just pain, and it's okay. Let's build a strategy and move forward. And within a month and a half, I had 90% function back. It was like I was doing backflips. I was freaking out. It was awesome. Luckily, I had Justin walking me through it. And so I'd like to acknowledge these 2 gentlemen. First is Jack Borla. Please stand. And Justin Jobelius. Please stand. Thank you. I truly believe that accurate, efficient empathy multiplies the effects of the chiropractic adjustment. And I believe that empathy is the subtle force that will transform and connect humanity. And I charge you all with helping build the skill set of empathy within yourselves, by simply changing the exercise that we had earlier. And because it's late, we're not going to go through the second exercise I have. But think about how you can change that question. The question that Dr. Borla asked me was, how are you feeling? Very subtle difference. But the intention behind it, when it's followed through with what the actual words mean, that was massive, massive. And so the next time you ask somebody, hi, how are you feeling? Wait. Just wait. And don't just listen to the answer, but take in the entire person of what's happening before a word was even spoken. Just the eye contact. It was like, you know what I'm doing right now. You know what I'm dealing with. Holy cow. How are you feeling? That was just like, oh, just knocked me off my feet. So trust. I mean, there's been so much talk tonight about connecting with yourself. Empathy first starts with yourself. Go through Lamson's NVC, observations, feelings, needs, requests. Talk to Justin Jobelius about nonviolent communication on campus if you want to start practicing, building that skill set, because it does not come naturally to a lot of people. I'm lucky to have a fiance that is an expert on it, thank God. But the more we can begin to connect with ourselves and build a skill set to be able to share what we're each dealing with, I think that we will be able to unite this profession. Thank you very much.